last example for today is to combine a couple concepts to make an interesting, kind of fun interaction. So we're going to pretend that we are walking up to this door, but maybe we don't know it's a door, so we want to signal to the player that it is available to us to open. So what I've done is I've just made 3 cubes here, just kind of put them in the place that they are right now. And so this one is going to be the door. So if we want to give this one the ability to swing open, we want to add a rigid body to it. And there are a couple kind of cool things that you can do with rigid bodies. One thing is called adding a hinge to it. So it kind of constrains the rigid body so it can only kind of rotate in one direction. So there's a few of these types of joints, but the hinge joint is particularly useful. So if we put a hinge joint on, basically it gives us this little thing right here, and that is basically like where the hinge of a door would be. So a door doesn't really open like this, so what we want to do is scroll down and say our axis, it's not going to be X because that's horizontal, we want to change it to Y, which is vertical. So now it's pointing up and down, and then the hinge is not in the middle of the door, but it is in fact on the side of the door. And we can move this down if we want, but it doesn't really matter. You can leave it up here too, because it's like an infinite vertical hinge. So move it over just a little bit more. Yeah, I think that looks nice. And so if I just hit play now, what I have the ability to do is to go up and push the door open like so. And so we can move through this door, but what if we didn't know it was a door? What if we wanted it to be more exciting than that? So what I can do is I can add another collider. So I can add a box collider here, and I can position it. So when we add the box collider, I can position it out front in the Z. So we can, if anybody gets close to the door, so I'm basically just kind of surrounding the door with this box collider. Maybe I'll move it down a little bit so that we know that we will run into it. And turn that into a trigger here. And then we can do, maybe we can do a similar thing. We can create a light. Position the light over the door. Make it really bright. Maybe make it a different color, red door. If we want this to be particularly inspiring, we can actually, the directional light that's in your scene, if you rotate it, it acts like the sun, so we can actually like turn the sun down, which is kind of fun. So you can maybe make it nighttime if we wanted. And then this, oh, maybe not quite that much. Bring back the sun. That's pretty good. So our spotlight, if we point it at the door, is very impressive. Wow, yeah, that looks good. So we have our cube here. So if we say we want to add a component, let's make a impressive door script. So it does need to know about the light. Object light. So first we will tell the door about the light. Now that the door knows about the light, we can, what we can do is, well, first we want the light to be off, so we will turn it to 0, so it is off. And then in our code, what we can do is when something enters into the trigger, we take the door light, we get its component, light component, we change its intensity to 20, and then when someone exits the trigger zone, trigger exit, we can say door light dot get component, get the light, change its intensity to 0. So we'll save that. So then what we should get is, if we hit play, we enter in, we leave, enter in, leave. We notice that it is on at the start. So let's see what is going on there. So let's tbus.player.name. So let's see why it is on at the start. I have a sense, I have a hunch. So it's touching the cubes. So what we want to do is just define if other dot name equals player, then turn it on. So we just have to define who we want to be able to turn on the door. So our name is player. So if we do this, turn it on. So now it's off at the beginning. We go in, we go out. So then it works. Wow, so impressive. And then we can go through the door. Wow. Okay.